Right guys, welcome back to the channel. So a little while ago on my Instagram page, I ran a competition. Win your wedding videography for the day, and I gave away a full wedding videography package. So in this video, I'm going to show you all about that, what I did, how I did it, why I did it, and then the results that it had. So I posted this competition in February on Valentine's Day, and there was some thought behind that. Obviously, it was a Valentine's promotion, and I made use of that. And I posted it back in February, and I now want to share the results now in April because the competition's ran its course, the dust has settled a bit, and I've given it a bit of time to see what results I'd get out of it, inquiries, bookings, and things like that. So now enough time's gone by that I can kind of share the results, and feel free to skip to the end, but the quick overview spoiler is that I would do it again. I think it was worth doing it, and if you wherever you're at in your business, it's worth giving it a go. And yes, it did generate me some bookings. I just want to shout out a fellow Northern UK wedding videographer, a guy called Greg, GB Wedding Films. Go and check him out. At the start of this year, I saw Greg post his own wedding film competition on his Instagram page, and I was scrolling through and I saw it, and the amount of likes and comments that he'd had, like, it was so well engaged. And I read through the comments, and literally I was scrolling through, and there was hundreds and hundreds of brides with sharing their wedding dates and their locations, saying, "Oh my God, I'd love to have you film my wedding. I'd love to win this." And they were just clamoring over themselves to try and give themselves the best chance to win this amazing prize. And I was really curious. I thought, I wonder how he's going to use that data. That's really interesting to have hundreds of brides and their dates and their locations. I reached out to Greg and I interviewed him for my podcast. And you can go and check out the full interview with Greg, sharing his sort of behind the scenes and insights into his competition. That video is on my other YouTube channel for the podcast. So I'll link that and you can go and check that out. And it's definitely a worthwhile watch if you're interested in doing one of these. So the idea and the inspiration came from him. And there's certain things that he told me in our podcast interview that I then applied when it came to do my own. So to my Instagram. So obviously the days leading up to Valentine's Day, which is the day that I posted and announced my competition, I was doing stories, things like announcement coming soon, got some exciting news to share with brides and grooms, On the day, I posted my video, and you can see it here. If I scroll through my Instagram, and so I posted this as a reel, but the video itself I made in Final Cut. I edited together loads of wedding footage, some just nice visuals of weddings, and I wanted that text overlay, big letters, wedding film giveaway. I put that to music, and then I uploaded that as a reel, and I've used this specific caption, and I'm going to go through the caption in a minute because there's certain things that your caption needs to have, the rules, the T's and C's of the competition. I used licensed music. I can't remember. I used a track from either Artlist or MusicBed. I can't quite remember. Message me for the details if you want that. But I used specific licensed music because, and this was something that I learned from Greg from that interview that we did, was if I wanted to boost this post and pay to boost it as an ad on Instagram, I wouldn't be able to use the Instagram trending audios, the music that you normally choose within Instagram for your reels. I wasn't able to do that if I wanted to boost it. So I've used my own music, and I've sourced that from a licensing site and put the music on, and then just uploaded it because I wanted to boost it, and I put £200 behind the ad for 2 weeks, 14 days, because that's how long the competition was running. So I posted it on Valentine's Day, and it went live, and it immediately started to get likes and gain traction. I mean, I do have a decent following on Instagram. I've 5,000 or more followers, which will help. Having said that, the way that the instructions, the rules, if you will, for the competition that I put in the description, and I'll get onto those in a minute. What I was asking people to do was like the post, comment on the post, and then share the post to their stories. So just organically, straight away, as soon as it went live, I've got brides to be following me, brides and grooms following me. It was getting likes, and it was getting people entering within the first few minutes, but then they're then sharing it to their stories. So it's going to their audience, and then organically the reach just kind of grows. What I also found was I was getting wedding supplier friends that were sharing it, photographers, planners, venues, just people I know in the industry going, sharing it to their stories, saying things like, oh my God, my couples, you need to get on this. You could win your wedding video. So that was getting shared about. And I did reach out to some other suppliers, to some photographer friends, to some planner friends, and saying, look, I'm offering this. Would you mind sharing it? And again, that helped the reach. Just to skip ahead to the results, I got, overall, you can see it here, 687 likes, 409 comments, 226 people shared it. Some of those comments were other suppliers going, oh my God, this is amazing. What a fantastic idea. Things like that. So I would say maybe 80% of those comments were genuine entries, but not all. And again, 226 people shared it to their stories. Now, some of those were suppliers. Some of those were the brides that had entered. And I did, as part of the rules, I did ask people to share it to their stories. Of course, not everyone did. And technically, the entry wasn't valid unless they shared it to their stories and followed me and liked it and everything. But I didn't enforce all this because at the end of the day, I wanted to have it reaching as many brides as possible. As long as they commented with their date and I was available, then I considered that to be an entrant. It was just a way to encourage people to share it to their stories. So I'll get into the caption. So, win your wedding film, and I explained that it was a full day package. You can see here, one lucky couple could win my full wedding videography package, completely free. And I meant it. That I've actually, it's funny that the couple that won, their wedding was in March. So it's a couple of weeks ago at the time of filming this. So I've actually shot the wedding that won this competition already. And I did. They got a ceremony speeches, full feature length highlights film, the works, completely free. To enter. So this is the important bit, and you can go on my Instagram and look and read this at your leisure, and you can copy and paste it if you want. To enter, follow me, Adam Wing Films. So that was important. They had to follow me, and I did. I gained 500, 600 followers from doing this. So that's, if you're trying to grow your Instagram, run a competition, you'll grow loads of followers. Does followers necessarily mean the right kind of followers, the right audience? Does that equate to inquiries? Possibly not. But certainly in this case, a lot of the people that were following me were brides to be, which is a good, relevant audience, which is what I want. So to enter, follow Adam Wing Films, like this post, and tag your fiance or a friend who's getting married in the comments. So this is all just trying to encourage people to engage with the post. The more likes, the more comments it gets, the better for the algorithm. And in the comments, along with, and this is the important bit, your wedding date and location. And you must have booked a date. So you must have a confirmed wedding date and location. When people commented, I needed them to have booked a wedding because I didn't want people entering saying, oh yeah, we've just got engaged and we're thinking about getting married in 2026, and they enter the competition. Now, if they won, because it was a randomized draw to choose the winner, if that person won, I couldn't guarantee that I was going to be available to shoot their wedding. So the only people who could enter the competition, and I had to sift through all the comments and pick out all the ones that I couldn't allow to enter. So basically all the couples, all the dates that I was booked for already or that I wasn't available for, I couldn't include them in the draw because I need to know that whoever wins, I'm actually going to be available for their wedding. So that was something that I stipulated. Make sure you've got a date booked. Make sure you include the date and the location so that I know whether I'm available or not and whether I can do it. And then the last thing that they had to do was share the post to their story because that helps with the reach. Okay. PS, you can also nominate a friend. So this was like, feel free to enter yourself and then enter on behalf of your mate who's engaged. But the person that's nominated must also follow Adam Wing Films, which is me. And then the winner will be selected at random on the 29th of February. You have 14 days to enter. T's and C's apply. And then I had some T's and C's, which again, I'll get into in a sec. So the competition ran for 14 days. And then on the 29th, I used, and I'll link it in the description, I used an online random wheel spinner thing. T's and C's. Again, I've reiterated this. To enter, participants must follow Adam Wing Films, like this post. Only one entry allowed per couple, which was in the T's and C's, but the amount of people that didn't read this and entered a million times, I couldn't control, but that's fine. The giveaway is only open to engaged couples who have booked their wedding date. If I'm already booked for your date, you can't be counted, because again, that was important. Again, if I couldn't do the date, then they couldn't win the prize. Okay, so this bit's important. If you're going to do this, you need to include this bit. The prize is my standard feature film package. Any additional services will be charged at the normal rate. So whoever won it, I then followed up and had a conversation with them after the competition and said, this is what you've won. This is what I also offer. If you want to add any extras, that's fine, but you've got to pay for that. And point 5 on here, travel fees and expenses may apply if the winner is more than 2 hours from the north of England. I did that because I had people entering that were from outside of the UK, destination weddings, Spain, Italy. I had someone enter from Arizona. So again, if they'd have won, that would have been absolutely fine. The product, the actual feature film is free. I'd have just had to have charged them travel. So I needed to make that clear. You can do whatever you want. Like, you can stipulate whatever terms you want. It's your competition. You could run a half price wedding videography package competition. As long as you stipulate it in the T's and C's, then it's fair game. At the end of the day, the reason for doing this, for running a competition like this, and what you get back in exchange for giving your services for free, it needs to be something that you can maybe use for your portfolio, hopefully be in an area or a venue that you've not had chance to shoot at before. So if you're wanting to get into destination work, you could give away a destination wedding package for free as a competition. And you can target those specific countries, those areas, to try and attract that work. So the results. So you can see here, I'll go through the comments. So as of recording this now, in addition to the wedding that I did for free that I've already fulfilled, and it's on my screen now, I'm starting to edit it. I've booked 4 weddings from doing this competition. After the competition had finished, everyone that had entered, but everyone else that didn't win, I DM'd and I said, look, you didn't win, but for the next 7 days, I think I said, I'm going to offer you 10% as a consolation prize, or a thank you for entering. Here's 10% off my packages. So if you are interested, then drop us a message and I can send you through all my packages and my prices, and you can have a 10% discount. If I said to you, and this is what I like about doing this competition, if I said to you that if you gave away 1 wedding for free, it would guarantee you 10 bookings at full price or at nearly full price in return, would you do it? I would, every day of the week. If I had to do 1 wedding in exchange for 10 paid weddings, then yeah. Like, if you could guarantee it, I'd be doing it all the time, because it's all that stress and months and SEO and time that you put into trying to generate bookings throughout the year. You could fill your calendar up in a matter of days. So at the time of recording this, I've booked 4 additional weddings. And then in terms of inquiries, this is the interesting one, because I had 18 inquiries off the back of this competition, which I actually thought, I expected there to be a lot more. However, what I think's happened is everyone that entered the competition, they liked the post, they commented on the post, they shared it to their stories. When they shared it to their stories, I was getting notified. So then I was going into their DMs at the time and saying, hey, thanks so much for sharing the post. Thanks for entering. Best of luck. Fingers crossed for you. Something of that nature. And then these people were then replying and going, oh my God, I'd really love to win it. I'm super excited. And then I was then going back to them. I'd find them in the comments, find out when the date was and where their wedding was. And I'd go, oh, I've just seen that I've noticed you're getting married at this venue. Love it there. It's amazing. Or that's somewhere I've always wanted to shoot. And I was starting up conversations with loads of these brides that entered. I was just in their DMs and we were having conversations back and forth. So I think that's why there wasn't as many inquiries through my website to my emails from the competition. I got 18 email inquiries, But I also had 40 plus conversations with brides in the DMs, and we were going back and forth, and they didn't inquire as such, but it's because we were already chatting. In fact, if I go through the comments now, I've literally got like so many people commenting with their date and their wedding venue. And that for me, like I say, there was 409 comments overall in total. And not all of those were wedding dates, but the majority were 80% or so. So I'd say 300 plus were genuine wedding dates. And not all of those I was available for, but a lot of them I was available for. And having that data, having the names of 300 people and their date and their location, I could just go through that list and go, I'd love to shoot there. I want to shoot that one. That one's really local. That would be great. That one's on a Thursday. I'd love to get that one. That's a midweek one. I'll offer them a bit of discount. I can't do that one. I can't do that one, but I can do that one. Oh my God, that's the destination one. I'd love to do that one. And just having all this data and having the freedom and the ability to drop into their DMs if I wanted and be like, thanks for entering. I've just seen that you're getting married at this place. It's only down the road from me. I love shooting there. I've been there loads of times. And then they replied, they'd encouraged, oh, that's amazing. Da-da. You know, if I said to you that in the space of 2 weeks, you could generate 300 inquiries into your inbox, that's 300 chances to book weddings. And that's why I think doing this competition is great, because you've got all these comments that are essentially inquiries. And you've got all this data that you can go with, and then you can pick and choose then whether you want to offer them discounts, whether you want to offer them freebies or certain packages at certain rates because they're getting married at a location that you've dying to shoot at, or because they're getting married midweek or somewhere that's local to you that you really love shooting at. And so I've booked 4 weddings so far, and I say so far because I have still got 1 or 2 ongoing that I'm still in conversation with, that I'm waiting to hear back from, etc. But so far, 4 bookings from doing this competition. And I think it depends where you're at as well in your business. I'm at the higher end of the UK market, above average, I would say. I'm not cheap, so I know that the majority of people that have commented that are hoping to win this prize don't have a massive budget for wedding videography. So then after the competition, when they've not won and I send them my prices, I know that I'm probably still going to be out of budget. But it's worth the risk for me to have all that data and that information of couples that I can pick and choose. And if I want to offer discounts, I can, or I can go in at full price and just, you never know, you might pick up a few bookings. And in this case, I picked up 4. But certainly if you're like in the mid-range market, I can't speak for other countries, but in the UK, if you're like in the mid-range market of videographers, or you're someone that's just starting out and you're only charging maybe £800,000 for a wedding film, you're going to clear loads of bookings through doing this. Now there's a balance to it, because obviously because I'm established and I've got a bit of a following on Instagram, it meant that my competition reached probably more people, and I probably got more comments than someone who was just starting out and offered it. And also my prize is perceived to be better because I charge quite a lot. Then it's a good prize. So you could argue that encouraged more people to enter. And if you're just starting out and you've not shot many weddings, then what you're actually offering isn't of a standard necessarily. And you've not got much of a following, so you might not get as many entries, but because of your prices, you'll probably convert more. So it's a balance, but overall, I think it was worth it. I enjoyed doing it. I loved chatting to all these couples. I loved getting all these messages of excitement saying, "Oh my God, I love your work. I'd love to win this." It's really encouraging. It's really exciting. And sure, most of them aren't going to then go ahead and book you afterwards. I really enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed chatting to all couples, and I think just having that list of dates and locations is just brilliant data to have. And you know, it was worth a risk, and I'd do it again. Like, I'd do it next year. I'd do it at might do it slightly earlier in the year, might do it at a slightly different time. I might do it in a slightly different way. because you just never know who's going to comment. And if I was to do this again next year, I might have different results. I might book a few more, a few less. It's a calculated risk, but it's just another string to your marketing bow. And why not give it a go? We put so much time and effort into wedding fairs and expense into SEO and style shoots and all these other things that we do to try and generate inquiries. This is just another strategy, and it has various results, and it's a risk, but it's worth it. And at the end of the day, the worst case scenario is that you give away a wedding film for free, so that's your time shooting the wedding and your time editing the film. If you can cover your expenses, then all you've lost is a bit of time. So I think it's worth it, and I enjoyed doing it. I would consider doing it again. That was a lot of waffle. I think I've covered everything. If there is any questions or there's anything that you want to ask about this process and that I've not covered, then just leave me a comment. I'll get back to you. And if, hopefully that was helpful. If you are thinking about maybe running your own competition, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.